Hello everybody, it's Andy Smith, your host with the most, with this week's book look, continuing from last week on the Joe Kubert adventure of Golden Age stuff and so forth. I've got a few more books. Kuber Goes to War, Golden Age Art of Joe Kubert, Book 2, and Joe Kubert, The War Years. Let's go through these gems, shall we? Love this drawing of Hawkman right there. And you might be going, why? Look at it. It's just blah. 19 years old, 20 years old when he did it. I think it's cool. These books are kind of fragile. Nice ad for the Kubert School where I went. Early Kubert work. A lot of this work is reproduced by Al Dellinges. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Al did such a great job of reproducing Joe's work. Joe just gave his total blessing, whatever help he could to Al to produce these books. When did this come out, actually? 79 is when this one came out. So the other one was probably right around there. The Golem. I wish it would say the year. Actually, you know what? I take it back. In the back of this book, it probably does say what year. And during the week, I did do a Google search for Al Dellinges to see if I could try and track him down, because I'd love to have him on the Dennis and Andy show. You know, I could find stuff about him, but honestly, I don't know if the gentleman is even still alive or not. So just the amount of work he put in to make these reproductions is just insane. Sorry, I'm just taking it in. I was really looking at this panel right here and just the high contrast and just the simplicity of the flames, but you really get like this burning heat from it. I really think in this second volume you can see the evolution of Joe's work even better as well, compared to the first volume from last week. I don't know if Joe was writing this stuff or not. This one looks like it's just one whole story, that Golem story, because I'm not seeing page breaks for other stuff. I mean, there it goes. I think that was literally, I think this just reproduced one whole story. Kuber Profile, this is from 1973. So a nice interview with him. I look at this and I just think to myself, wow, Joe was younger than me. He was 47 when this interview came out. I don't think these are reproductions. I think they're just the covers printed in black and white. I would love to have seen better quality scans of these, which I'm sure I could find online. I love this. Strange Terrors. You're really getting a sense of Joe Kubert's iconic layout and design sense with these covers. More interview. Oh, this is cool. Oops. I said this, gotta be gentle with this book. Attack on Planet Mars. This is from 1951. So Joe was 25 when he did this. The Man Who Milked Spiders for Gold. 1944. Joe was 18 when he did that. Voltan. Now, Voltan's the one I was talking about, that there is a reprint of it, and it's like ash can size. I do have it somewhere. 1941. Joe was a whopping 15 years old. Here we go. 20-year-old All-Star Comics number 30 featuring Hawkman. Joe was 20. 21 for that Hawkman story next to it. 1948, so 22 there. And then this Hawkman story, he was also 22. I love stuff like that. 23 for that Hawkman page. And then this reprints some of the covers. 1947. So Joe was 21 when he did that cover that is just one of my favorites right there. Number 71, top left. Oops. And then we've got the first tour in 1952. Very cool. So that's that one, Golden Age Part 2. Then it's Kuber Goes to War. This one, I'm sure, and the one beneath of it, this is 1978. Probably show a lot of the same stuff. But we'll see. The splash page above, Death on Skis, is from Eerie Comics number 9 and was done by Joe while he was stationed in Germany. That's pretty freaking cool. This is 1947. Joe was just 21 years old, just getting the work done. Just got to do it. You can see a little Kniff influence in some of this stuff. Very cool, creepy looking tree. And this kind of chronicles the work he was doing and when, time period wise. This is All-Star Comics number 35 right here. I'm just looking to see if it says. Now it doesn't say the year. This is great, classic. You see Joe do stuff like this a lot. So even early on with the two guys clashing with each other, the way he composed it. This is 1966, so Joe was 40, and you can really see his style a lot more right here. I mean, this you just look at and go, oh, that's Joe Kubert. And that's Viking Prince. Uh-oh, pages are coming loose. Not good. And then we go back in time with this one, unless this page is out of order. I'm not sure. Man, I didn't realize these were coming apart like this. There's that Superman cover from the previous book, or the sketchbook I showed last week. Only saw the Superman. It was in pencil and stuff. Not a great reproduction there. DC Special number 5 was all about Joe. I definitely have that book. Love that stuff. Our Army at War 167, 1966. Really Joe. I mean, this is just boom, bang, right on Joe Kubert, right on the money. Signature look to his work, like a lot of this stuff is. These reproductions aren't that great, and I want to say these are the ones that Al did, but it's just the reproductions in the book themselves. Not having looked at it in a while. I mean, I've seen cleaner black and white reproductions from the original art, so. But maybe back then it just wasn't available. Don't know. Great tour stuff, 1975. It's nice composition, circular composition, focusing on the girl. Really nice. And Sergeant Rock, 1976. Joe was 50 years old when he did that. I remember looking at this book when I got it like 20, 30 years ago, going, wow, man, he was 50. That's so old. And now I'm 54. And there you go, November 1st, 1969, Joe drew this a month and 4 days before I was born. So very freaking cool. All right, now we've got this book, which is a lot thicker. The War Years. Probably see a lot of stuff in here that we saw before. I guess this covers all the material in the book right here. This book came out, well, I'm not sure. Love this piece. Sergeant Rock is done in pencil. All the figures and stuff in the background is inked. It's from 1986, and it just shows you how great Joe was with every tool. He could just do it all. This is Joe, I believe, in the 80s, late 70s, early 80s. Man, he could just do such a powerful, screaming face. My Life with the Art of Joe Kubert by Jerry Bales. So Jerry Bales, big fan of Joe's work. So some of the stuff we saw before in the first Golden Age one, saw this page, still love it. Love that horse, very Frazetta. Enemy Ace, of course. Irwin Hasten on Joe Kubert. Irwin was a great guy. I had him as a teacher. So this book has a lot of people talking about Joe, like Neil Adams talking about Joe. This story's fantastic. Joe basically had to get a story done. Neil said, I tell you what, I'll draw it, you ink it. And after Joe saw Neil's pencils and inked them, he gave Neil one of the best compliments, which is, he basically said, it's like Neil crawled into my head. That's how tight Neil was to Joe's layout style and stuff. A Guy Called Joe by Roy Thomas. Yeah, so this book has a lot of professionals just talking about Joe and their experience with him. Toth on Kubert says, Joe and I shared a studio with Hy Rosen in the studio apartment of a pro photog named Bradley Smith back in 48 or 49 for a 6-month stint. Then I cut out. Joe amazed us all with his facility in penciling in bold basic figures formula and foreground background shapes like the one on the opposite page, then picking up his brush and proceeding to draw in the whole damn panel with the brush, tossing in blacks with gay abandon, plus details of anatomical and background and costume as if he were tracing over tight pencils. That's true. I'm sure Joe did more than this. This is like an Alex Toth type thing, but I've seen some of the stuff Joe inks from when I was at school, and it was loose. It was definitely tighter than this, but I totally understand what he was saying. This is from Our Army at War 269. Just love that emotion and stuff in that figure. Some great cover repros in here. Oh, that face of Sergeant Rock. Why there hasn't been like a Sergeant Rock movie is just beyond me. I think it would make a great, great movie. And then you put Enemy Ace in it. Oh, man. An Interview with Joe. So another interview here. This is from Sea Devils number 13. So that's cool. I didn't know Joe drew Sea Devils number 13. That's cool. He actually did insert himself in the story. Like, hey, I'm going to draw your adventures. I need to track that down. Sea Devils number 13. God, I love this. Brave and the Bold number 52. This is just some fantastic rendering by Joe. This is hilarious. Joe Kubert, Irwin Hasten, 1947. I can't remember how old Irwin was compared to Joe, but, I mean, Joe's 21. Irwin's probably close to that age. Two good buddies goofing around. I just love that. Another great cover. There's Irwin. Tim Truman being instructed by Irwin. This was probably a decade before I went to the Kubert school. Or wait, no. When did Tim go? God, I can't remember. But that's pretty much how Irwin looked when I went there. So, Robert Kanigher. Nice interview with Robert Kanigher, who worked with Joe a bit. Joe Kubert, Robin Moore, and John freaking Wayne. Joe did a Green Beret comic strip. It was actually proposed to Neil Adams, and Neil was either too busy or just couldn't take it on, so he recommended Joe Kubert, and Joe Kubert did the Green Beret strip for a while. It is a really cool daily strip by Joe. This is awesome. Sergeant Rock 422, 1988, penciled page right here. This was inked by Andy. I believe I actually have this comic, and you can see Joe's pencils, and everything's there, but you would definitely need an inker to work over this stuff that knows what they're doing. I mean, that is just phenomenal to look at. There's Joe, his wife Muriel. That's pretty much how Joe looked when I went to the school, and this was, 10 years previous. This is from the DC Special number 5, where Joe's at the drawing desk working, and Joe, besides his wife, has 5 kids. You only know of Andy and Adam because they draw comics. The other 3 kids have nothing to do with working in comics and stuff. And you can see back when this came out in 1969, the age of the kids. Andy's the youngest. I think Andy was born in 63 or 64. Adam, I think, was born in 61. So it's just a fun little book. I own a daily strip by Joe for, I'm trying to remember the name of the strip it was. I haven't looked at this book in a while, so who knows? Maybe I'll see it in here. So a character sheet for something. More pencils by Joe. This is for the first 2 days of, when these 2 pages are Joe's pencils for the first 2 days of the Terry and the Pirate strip. They were never finished or published before the following 4 pages are Joe's character sketches from the strip. The lettering was done by son Adam. So look at that. Joe was supposed to do a Terry and the Pirate strip or something. That would have been super cool. Major Mac McShot. That's a tough looking dude. Great, great way to do a cover, a face, and then with the images inside the face. Alex Raymond, probably talking about any influence he's had. How I Became a Joe Kubert Fan by Al. So this is Al, and this is 1981. So, I mean, I don't know. Al could be 50-something right there. I'm going to guess he's probably still not with us. Would have been great to talk to him. This is all reproductions that Al did of Joe's work. And if it doesn't say it, then this is right from the cover, so not a reproduction. Don't want to mess this book up. Enemy Ace, Frank Thorne talking about Joe Kubert. I mean, right out of the gate, you look at that and you go, oh, it's a sloppy Joe Kubert drawing, but it's actually Frank Thorne art that Al, tried to do a faithful copy over. I like Frank Thorne's stuff, and really the more I started looking at it, the more I was like, wow, he really is from that same type of school of rendering and stuff as Joe Kubert. I'm pretty sure they were the same age, roughly. Nice little checklist here, the Enemy Ace books that Joe did. Definitely get Enemy Ace. I've got the showcase edition of it. It's great. Joe did some fantastic aerial combat drawings with the biplanes fighting and stuff. I mean, just really beautiful looking stuff. And now that I think about it, I don't think Enemy Ace and Sergeant Rock could be in a book together, because Enemy Ace is from, I believe, World War I with these biplanes, and Sergeant Rock was World War II. So, oh man, I love this. Return the Hangman. Oh, look at that Beautiful 2-page spread. Just gorgeous stuff here. Where were you? December 7th, 1941. I was nowhere. I wasn't born yet, but I know what the reference is to. So this is cool. These are these different guys talking about where they were. Joe Kubert, Jerry Bell, C.C. Beck, Will Eisner, Irwin Hasen, Lee, Elias, George Evans, John Celardo, Howard Brody. This is a great cover, too. Gil Fox, Jack Burnley. Jack Burnley died young. Another Golden Age strip here. Alex Toth. All these guys, you can learn where they were on that fateful day of Pearl Harbor. And just think, there will be books, if there's not already, talking to contemporary comic artists of my time, maybe going, where were you on September 11th? 2001. And finally, GI Combat, which I believe he just did mostly covers for, but what great covers they are. Oops, sorry about that. They must love that Superman cover, because they're just another time we get to see this. It's now been in 3 of these books. And just some sketches, man. Joe would draw all the time. He would take a sketchbook with him and just doodle and draw all the time. So it's very cool being able to see these. It's definitely from the Louvre. That's very nice. I mean, look at that. Joe was standing there with his sketchbook looking up and banged out a sketch of the Eiffel Tower. So cool. Fire hair. And then there you go. Below on the next page is listed small part of the art supplies books available from the Joe Kubert art store. Oh, very cool. So a little guide to stuff they were selling at the art store at the time. Nice. Beautiful shot of Hawkman there. Great lighting. And then I wonder if this is from 1990. So this book's not nearly as old as I thought it was. So, special 50th anniversary. Congratulations to Hawkman, the 90s and beyond. That's cool. I wonder if this was like another book that Al was going to try and do and never happened. Huh. So there you go. This Warriors book is newer than I thought. 1990. Just, there's no, oh, right here. Copyright, do-do-do-do-do-do. No, it just breaks down copyright dates of some of the stuff inside the book, but there's no specific date, year when this book came out. Huh. Oh, well. Well, there you go, guys. That is the old school Joe Kubert type books that I own. Thank you for joining me on this book look as always. I appreciate you guys so much. Hit the like button, hit the notification bell, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, so you can see these book looks every Tuesday at 8 a.m. Every Thursday at 8 a.m. I drop a time-lapse video for you guys. And enjoy the rest of your day and your week. Thank you for joining me. I'll catch you guys later. And Nice and Tight, the comic book pencil art of Andy Smith, that's me, is live on Indiegogo. The book is coming down soon, so if you haven't backed it, go check it out. Link in the description below, and go sign up for Kor-Drath, The Awakening, the next volume in the Kor-Drath saga. And you can visit Kor-Drath.com to buy any Kor-Drath Volume 1 books that maybe you didn't get the first time around. Thanks, guys. Talk to you later. Bye-bye, everybody. Nice and Tight, the comic book pencil art of Andy Smith. That's me. This book features 52 pages of some of my favorite full pencils that I did for other companies over the past 2 decades. The raw pencils as they were seen by the inker, and now you can see them for the first time. This book also comes in a digital format so you can practice your inking in your favorite program. Back it today.